Hello everyone. I hope that you have got the notification regarding your exams. Tomorrow you have got your general English exam, and I believe day after tomorrow, not day after tomorrow, the third exam is your alternative English exam, if I am not wrong. I do not have the routine right now, but that is how it is, I believe. Now, if you have got any doubt in your alternative English regarding the syllabus that has been given or the chapter that is included in the syllabus, if you have got any doubt, please feel free to contact me. Today, I will proceed to start another chapter from your alternative English. The name of that chapter is The Testament of a Walker. The Testament of a Walker. Now, first let us see what is there in the title of this chapter. Walker is a, you can understand what the term means. Walker is basically, it just comes from the term walk. One who walks is a walker. But remember one thing, when you are speaking in your daily life, people who walk, suppose those people who come by buses, cars, travel by buses, cars or other vehicles, they are called commuters. They are called what? They are called commuters, and those who walk are known as pedestrians. Here are known as pedestrians, but here the author has basically just used the word, the testament of a walker, to make it a little colloquial. He walks, he is a walker. And testament as in, you may have heard about the Old Testament and the New Testament, which are part of the Holy Bible. Testament means basically a truth which has got a religious tinge to it, a religious truth, you may say, alright, a religious truth. Testament of a walker, this is the name of the chapter. So, testament means a religious truth, and walker is a person who walks. It is the gospel of a walker. When a walker goes on to write the theory of walking, about the theory of walking, why walking is beneficial and all that. For him, it's almost, for the author, walking is almost like a religious activity. Who is the author? The author of this chapter is R.K. Narayan. Now, this is very interesting. Do you know who is R.K. Narayan? R.K. Narayan is one of India's greatest authors. He is a very, very interesting author. You may have heard the story, or some of you may have even watched this TV series called Malgudi Days, especially in Doordarshan. That Malgudi Days, these amazing stories of Malgudi Days were written by R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan has got another connection with cinema and TV. The year was 1973 or 71, and the great movie star, whose name is Devanand. Have you heard his name? Devanand, one of the greatest stars of Indian cinema. So, Devanand's career was coming, was almost at a very low. At that time, Devanand needed a very good movie script to bounce back, and finally he came up with a movie called Guide. The songs of the movie are very, very famous even today. On the screen were Devanand and Wahida Rahman. This Guide is actually an adaptation of R.K. Narayan's novel Guide. So, he is a very popular writer, very interesting writer. If you read Narayan, you will find a lot of, he understands Indian culture very well and is very successful in portraying the Indian culture on his story, on the pages of his stories. Very brilliant and very interesting writer he is, R.K. Narayan. So, this is the story about R.K. Narayan. Now, story written by R.K. Narayan. Now, this story is a little, you can call it, it is semi-autobiographical, not wholly autobiographical, because some of the elements may just have been added for the flavor of it. It is semi-autobiographical, means he is saying something about his own life everything may not be true, but it is loosely based on his real life, very closely based on his real life. Now, what is the story about? I will try to explain this story very simply to you. Please try and understand, follow the questions, and you will quickly understand this chapter. I want you to open this chapter as I read this, so it will be a little easy for you to follow. Now, what is this chapter about? Arkenarayan is a person who does, at the very beginning he says, there are persons who have no ear for music, being tone deaf, others who have no eye for art, who may in a sense be called colorblind. In a similar category, I am impervious to the subtler values in a car. Arkenarayan starts this chapter like this. He says that he is impervious, that is, he does not understand. What does he not understand? The subtler values of a car, motor gadi, car. Do you understand the subtler values of a car? Some people you will see understand this. For example, I have a mobile phone here in my pocket. Honestly, I understand this much, whether the mobile phone can click good pictures, is it good, is it good for calling, does it support 4G, that's what, does it look good? For me, this is what I understand are the qualities of a good mobile phone and a bad, not so good mobile phone. But I have a friend of mine who knows so many things. He will tell you how many GBs of RAM is there, how much memory is there, what kind of camera is there. He will speak in terms of so many pixels camera and this and that. These are the subtler things, very fine, the fine elements, the very intricate details. Arkenarayan says, I am impervious to the subtler values of a car. He says that I don't understand these minute details about a car. What are the minute details? Again, for a person like me, what would be a car like? Okay, the car looks nice, okay, very good. So, the car is comfortable to ride, very good. Okay, that's it for me. The color is nice. But those who understand, those who are auto enthusiasts, automobile enthusiasts, they will tell you that a car is not just what it looks like. You have to, if you have to appreciate a car, whether the car is a good car or a bad car, to appreciate those things, you will need to understand things like what is the capacity of the engine. They will speak to you in terms of like this 4-liter diesel engines, stuff like that. I don't know much about it. Or they will tell you what is the ride height. They will tell you about the mileage. They will tell you about the interior decoration. They will tell you about the facilities, maneuverability that the car provides and all these things. What kind of headlamps they have, dynamic headlamp or static headlamp and many other kind. Arkenarayan says these are the subtler values of a car. These things that I have just said are the subtler values of a car. And Arkenarayan says I don't understand the subtler values of a car. He says for him, a car is anything with 4 wheels and I can sit on it and it can carry me from point A to point B. For me, that is what a car is. Anything that has wheels on it and can carry me from one place to another is a car for me. All cars are alike to me. I don't understand all these technical details of a car. Clear? That's the kind of person Arkenarayan is. So your first question. Why does Arkenarayan say that he is impervious to the subtler values of a car? This subtler spelling is S-U-B-T-L-E-R. Please read the chapter and you will get the spelling. Why does Arkenarayan say that he is impervious to the subtler values of a car? The answer is, Arkenarayan says that he is impervious to the subtler value of a car because he does not understand the finer details about a car. For him, a car is a platform which allows a person to sit with 4 wheels, a platform mounted on 4 wheels which can carry a person from point A to point B. He does not understand the technical details about a car much. This is a kind of a person, he does not know much about car, but as luck could have it, he acquired a very expensive and imported car, alright. For maybe you or even me, maybe we understand a lot about cars, we are so excited about cars, okay, this is there, that is there. We don't get a car, but R.K. Narayan, this is what life is, these are the ironies of life. Huh? So R.K. Narayan does not, he is comfortable in an ambassador, but he acquired an imported car, a very imported, an imported car with very, very advanced features. What are the features? These are also written here on the first page of your book. You will find those written. And what does he say? He says it had got so much sophistication inside. Now he did not understand, but others who came to look at his car, they marveled. They would say, "Are dekho, recessed handle, steering maneuverable with the flick of a finger." What steering is maneuverable? Maneuverable means movable. Maneuverable by the flick of a finger. What steering? Correct, power steering. Alright. So in those days when R.K. Narayan wrote this, power steering was a novelty. You would not find power steering in every car. In those days, R.K. Narayan had a car with power steering in it. Recessed handle, very sophisticated handle, which you can't even properly see. Where is the handle? Like that. Recessed handle. Then very nice cushioned seats. Okay, leather upholstery. There are leather, everything is made of leather, very comfortable. And for those days, something that was very, very sophisticated, calculator and alarm clock inside the car. In those days, today nobody would want to have a calculator or alarm clock inside a car, but in those days, like today, GPS navigation monitors are a sophistication. It is not available in ordinary cars, or that rear movement assist. When you back a car up, some cars have got a monitor where you can see actually where the car is going, and it also flashes an alarm. So this is, in today's technology, these are great novelty. Just like that, in those days, probably in the 60s and 70s, having an alarm clock in a car was a novelty, and R.K. Narayan's car had an alarm clock and all these things, and people went gaga over it. What a car! Okay, but R.K. Narayan, he does not understand all these things. Does he understand all these things? No, he does not understand all these things, and is not even bothered to find out. He says that there are so many switches, the dashboard panel was full of switches. Most of these switches, R.K. Narayan says, I never tried to find out what these are. I don't need them, I never found out. And he says that the air conditioner in his car, that was used for, how much does he say? He says that it was switched on for a total of 30 minutes. In 10 years, he owned the car for how many years? He owned the car for 10 years. In these 10 years, R.K. Narayan switched on the air conditioning system of his car for less than 30 minutes only in 10 years. This is your second question. Why did R.K. Narayan not use, or why did R.K. Narayan use his air conditioning system in his car only for about 30 minutes in 10 years? Why? Why? You see, what is the reason? The air conditioning is supposed to make your journey comfortable, noise free and dust free, and also cool and comfortable on days like what? Like today it's not very hot, but remember yesterday, 3rd of August 2020, it was terrible. So on days like that, an air conditioner in your car makes your journey comfortable. But R.K. Narayan used the air conditioning system in his car for less than 30 minutes for the 10 years that he used the car. That is, in 1 year he used it around 3 minutes only. Why is that so? It is so because his driver had the habit of, you may have seen in our public transport systems, the drivers, they have a way, Indian drivers have a way of driving the cars. They first of all drive it very rough, and when they are on the road, they'll have one hand on the steering, one hand on the door, and sometimes there are indicator lamps to signal whether you're going right and left. But our drivers want to stick their hand out like that, and fly in the air and say, this is the way I am going. Plus you will see drivers fight with each other. They will shout and scream at the driver who has made some mistake, has come in, and they will scream at the other driver. So Arkenarayan's driver also, he does the same thing. He has this habit of abusing and scolding people, erring pedestrians and other drivers. This guy, he feels, he feels very restricted when the windows are lifted. To run the AC, you will have to lift the windows. When the windows are lifted and the AC is switched on, this man who is habituated at gesticulating, at erring pedestrians or screaming out at fellow drivers feels very restricted. For his convenience, Arkenarayan used the air conditioning system of his car in less than 10 years. You can imagine what kind of a person he is. Very simple kind of person. He is not bothered about the sophistication in his car. He is just like that. In the next paragraph, in the second paragraph, Arkenarayan now comes straight to the point. He says that man's ultimate destiny is to walk. This is his testament. He says man's ultimate destiny is to what? Man's ultimate destiny is to walk. Okay, ultimately man has to walk. If you are a human being, your ultimate destiny mane niyati, bhagyo, you are destined to ultimately walk. What does he say? What does he mean by that? Actually he says, today you have got cars, you have got petrol and you have got diesel, but he says ultimately one day will come when man will discover that ultimately man has to walk. That's why Arkenarayan says nature has gifted him with two legs which run without petrol or without any gears. You've got your two legs, is it not? So I've got my two legs, everybody's got legs. Those legs, those two legs, you see, they also carry us from one point to another. And these legs don't need any petrol or they do not run on any engine. Alright? So Arkenarayan says, today you are very dependent upon petrol. I think that a day will come when petrol prices will go up so much that from there it cannot hike any further. Petrol prices will go up so high that beyond that point it can go up no further, and that day man will be forced to rediscover the use of his legs. Clear? Arkenarayan says that man's ultimate destiny is to walk because he believes that a day will come when man will realize that petrol prices have gone up so high that they cannot afford it, and so they'll have to rediscover walking. Or the oil wells which produce petrol will go completely dry and the petrochemical economy will collapse and man will have to walk. Interestingly, in this chapter, Arkenarayan says that a day may come when petrol prices will be 100 rupees per litre. Today the price of petrol is about 85 rupees per litre. So maybe Arkenarayan's prophecy is coming true. So anyway, so this is the third question. Why does Arkenarayan say that man's ultimate destiny is to walk? Arkenarayan says that man's ultimate destiny is to walk because he believes this is the reason why man is gifted with two legs which run without petrol or without gear. Full stop. He believes that a day may come when petrol prices will go so high that beyond it can go no further. It can hike no further. The price of petrol will go so high that beyond it cannot go any further, and that day man will have to rediscover the use of his legs. Or a day may come when the oil wells will all go dry, and when the oil wells go dry, we have got no petrol, we shall have to rediscover the use of our legs. So whatever I have discussed now, basically I have discussed around three questions. The first question is, why does Arkenarayan say that he is impermeable to the subtler values of a car? Why does Arkenarayan say that he is impermeable to the subtler values of a car? Second question, why did R.K. Narayan use his AC for less than 30 minutes in 10 years? Third question, why does R.K. Narayan say that man's ultimate destiny lies in walking? Please write these answers down and email those answers to me. See, if you go with these questions, then only you will be able to understand. Usually what happens, if you would come to the class now, it is not possible, but we have heard that soon it might be possible. The government is probably thinking of trying to reopen classes for class 12 and class 10, but we have not yet got any clear instruction. Government has not yet given, you all know it. So if you are in the class, you can have the book and we can read and all these things page by page. But since we are having this virtual interaction, it is not possible to exactly do the same thing. So please follow the way I am going with you. I have given you 3 questions. Read this chapter, the first 2 chapters, actually 1.5 chapter. The first 1.5 pages of this chapter. Please read them. And if you read them and if you listen to this explanation, you will be able to solve these answers. And if you are able to solve these answers, you will be able to understand this chapter as well. So for today, I shall leave you here. And once again, if you have got any doubt regarding those chapters or the syllabus in your alternative English for the upcoming unit test, please feel free to email me or call me or WhatsApp me, whatever is convenient for you. You can also contact your stream in charges and ask them to contact me so that your doubts are cleared. One more information that I would like to share with you is that very soon we will also have sessions of doubt clearing with you, in which we will have live classes with you so that you can ask your questions and clear your doubts. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.